Good luck.
Thank you.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks seminerlerine hoş geldiniz. Bugün İrlanda'nın en iyi teknik üniversitesi Technological University Dublin'de Eğitim ve İrlanda'da Yaşamı Sara'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Sarah, the stage is yours now.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me again. I did one of these last month and I really enjoyed it. I found everyone just so friendly and lovely in the chat. So you can ask questions as I give my presentation, but yeah, I'll get into it. So as I was introduced, my name is Sarah. I work for Technological University Dublin, which is in Ireland, and I'm going to show you what I hope is a nice quick presentation because I know everyone is just sick of being on their laptops and watching presentations. So I will start off with two videos. One, a bit about Ireland and what Ireland has to offer as a study destination. And then the second is a student testimonial. So you'll hear what our students like about our campus and what they're studying. So I'm just going to get right into it. After those two videos, I will take you through a bit more about the university and hopefully answer any questions that you might have. So bear with me. Just going to share my screen. And thank you so much for everyone who's saying hello. Okay, so the first video please let me know in the chat box if hopefully I can get back to see it if the sound is okay. Choose Ireland. Every year, thousands of international students choose Ireland. Ireland is a state that nation. Ireland is an educated English-speaking country in Europe, with close cultural, economic, and educational ties to the English-speaking world, including the UK, our nearest neighbour, and the USA. Which stands on many leading northern London sections of Ireland as the best location for the European headquarters. Ireland offers a wide education program from which to choose. From creative technologies to science, and mathematics, from American families. Ireland produces highly employable graduates, many of whom are global leaders, thanks to some of the world's largest corporations. Once here, international students experience an learning environment that is distinctly supportive, where individual access to academic leaders and achievers is commonplace, where experienced advisors and international students are using their path of integration to encourage educational and social growth, and where the famous Irish hospitality makes you feel at home. That's why Ireland is the education destination of choice for so many international students. Ireland's creative and innovative culture makes Ireland an inspiring place to study, which results from the difficulties and experience. Here Ireland is the treasure for the most discerning international students. We trust Ireland.
Yes, Sarah, we couldn't hear the sound of the video quite nicely. Could you please share the YouTube link in the chat box?
Okay. You know what? Let me see. Will I do that? 1 second. Yeah, actually, do you know what? That's what I'll do. I will put the two videos maybe in the chat box for people to watch in their own time, and then I'll just give my presentation because, yeah, I'm conscious that even when I had when I was sharing the screen, I couldn't come back to see the chat box, so I was hearing all these sounds and I was like, what are people saying? So I'm just gonna continue with my presentation if you guys don't mind, and you can watch the videos in your own time. Okay. So this video was just another video that I would have showed you, is a testimonial from our students and what they love about the campus and what they're studying, and a lot of it is what I will kind of go through and mention in the presentation anyway. So start from basics. So who's TU Dublin? So we're a brand new university. We're the arts, business, science, engineering, and technology converge. So
yeah, so could you please make it on the presentation mode?
Pardon? Oh, presentation mode. Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
I get you, yeah. Sorry. Okay, hopefully that's all the little mishaps. We are internationally recognized, which I will go through a bit more of that in a later slide. We're the top 4% worldwide and top 250 young universities worldwide. And we're the largest higher education development project in Europe. So a very big investment from the Irish government, and it's been a long time coming. And this is what we mean by the largest project. So this is a 73-acre campus right in the city centre of Dublin. So this is obviously a projection. A lot of that is built at the moment, and has been ongoing for the past year. So while I haven't been on campus, the campus has just been building and growing. So just to give you an idea of the size of us, so we're the largest university in Ireland at the moment. We've got 29,700 students, and 2,500 of those come from outside of Ireland, from 138 different nationalities. We have 3 campuses, so I just showed you the largest one, and we have 2 smaller campuses which are on the outskirts of Dublin. And we have 3,500 staff members, so really, really big. So the name gives it away, TU Dublin. Dublin is the capital of Ireland, and they're just some nice bright images. Would have shown you a bit more in the video, but again, I can give you the link and you guys can watch that in your own time. So a bit about Ireland. Again, I would have covered, or the video would have said a lot of this for me, but so Dublin is the capital of Ireland. We've got about 1.6 million. Ireland would have close to 5 million people at the moment. We're a part of the EU, so we are the only English-speaking country within the EU now that England has left. Dublin is known as the IT hub of Europe, so I think I'd gotten to that stage in the video, which you would have seen the different logos, so you would have seen we have companies like Facebook, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, eBay, PayPal, Microsoft, Dell. They all set up their EU headquarters and operate out of Dublin. And Ireland as a whole is known as the pharma hub of Europe. So we have a lot of the pharmaceutical companies that we all see in the news now who are trying to create their own vaccines and everything. So a lot of those pharma companies set up their EU headquarters and operate out of Ireland as well. A lot of them will be down the south of Ireland, not just Dublin. So 2 important things about Ireland as well, which I love being able to say, is we offer a graduation visa. So when you study a 4 years bachelor's degree, you get a 1-year stay-back visa. And when you study a master's, which is typically a year, some of them are a year and a half, you get a 2-year stay-back visa. And when you're studying in Ireland, legally, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week. And when you're not in college, so any reading week you have, any Christmas, Easter break, anytime you're not in college, basically, you can work full-time. So that's a really nice thing. So what we have to offer at TU Dublin. Well, thing on the screen there, I'm going to hear noises coming in, but unfortunately I'll keep all the questions to the end because I can't go back and forth between my presentation. But I will answer your questions at the end. So yeah, TU Dublin, while technological is in our name, it's not all technology. So we've got business, maths, languages and law, a lot of creative arts programs, architecture, hospitality and tourism, you name it, we've got it. And the different areas that we offer will be, you can come to us from summer school, like what you see, go into a foundation or a bachelor's, go on to study a master's, and then go on to study a PhD. So you could be with us for years We offer pretty much everything, every level. And as you can see, the prices there beside all of the programs that we offer, that price is per year. So for a bachelor's, typically it would be €13,500 per year, and that is just tuition. So why TU Dublin? One of the things that our students always say that they really, really like, and something I love saying as well, is we're not a traditional university where you would have 120 people in a classroom. We would have a class size of 45 would be typical. Sometimes in the science programs, they're a little bit smaller. But the small class size is something that international students particularly love, because you're traveling to a completely new country. You have to make friends, and it's just a less daunting experience for an international student. It's a more intimate experience in the classroom, obviously, and the program coordinators really love it, or the academics. They like it because they get to know all of their students by name, and you know yourself, there's just a nicer environment for discussion, and your lecturers have more time for you, and it's always the top thing that our students say that they really like. Team that with friendly staff. We have really, really friendly staff, and it's another thing that I love hearing back from students, that you know they're in safe and happy hands. We have a lot of industry connections. So as I was saying, Dublin is the IT hub of Europe, and these are the types of companies that I read out before. They're the types of companies that are on our doorstep. So a lot of our bachelor's programs would have a 6-month work placement built into them. So in the third year, we would take the students and place them into a company that's related to their field. Not just IT, of course. We have like hospitality and tourism, so we can place you into hotel, event management companies. A lot of our programs have that. So it's a lovely additional a bit of real life experience that you get to graduate with when you're looking for work yourself. The academic and student support. So I guess following on from the industry connections, one of the most popular questions is students asking about jobs. So we have a careers office. Actually, we have 3. There's a careers office in each of our campuses, and they are wonderful in that they help you with your job search strategy. They will help you rewrite your resume. They will help you with interview prep. They have interview prep seminars. They will invite companies from the outside into the campus, that students get to just naturally network yourself. So I'll always say that like no one's ever just going to hand you a job out of nowhere, but we give you all the tools and the confidence, and the confidence in your capabilities and your skills to go out into the workforce and get the best job for you. Accreditations and exemptions. So that would be for things like if you were studying law with us or accounting, you're going to have some exemptions in some professional exams that you'd have to go on to do when you leave college. And accreditations. So for example, we have a lot of engineering programs. So our bachelor's engineering programs are actually accredited by Engineers Ireland. So Engineers Ireland is a signatory of the Washington Accord. So if you graduated from us and you wanted to go off and work in the United States or Canada or Australia, another country that is a part of this Washington Accord, your accreditation or your degree is instantly recognized. Then, am I covering something? Sports and clubs. I think I have something covering there. So sports and clubs is something that I would always recommend that students get involved in. And even if you're not interested in something and you wanted to start your own society, that's totally encouraged. But it's nice to meet other people outside of your classroom, right? And just to get a more full-rounded experience at college. And academic, the student support, I left that till last. So that is really, really important as well. Obviously, you're in a new country, you're away from your family and friends. We have services like counselling for students. We have medical centres, which are free for students. So drop in if you are feeling anything really. We have chaplaincy service, which holds like lovely friendship lunches and things like that. So there's really so much support on campus for students. Just very aware that you're coming from a completely different country and we want everyone to have the best experience. So how to apply? Applying is super easy. It's an online application. There's no application fee, so I would just, if I was meeting you at a fair, I would be just telling you to apply anyway. Keep your options open. So on our website, tudublin.ie, when you go to all of the programs that we have, every single program page has its own, or every single program, excuse me, has its own program page. So you would be on the program page, and to the right, you'll see the Apply Now button. You click that and away you go. So it'll give you kind of a step-by-step guide of everything that you need to upload. So for example, you need to have certified copies of your transcripts. You need to have a copy of your passport. The English language, again, listed on our website is all the English that we accept. We accept IELTS, TOEFL, PTE. Duolingo was a new one this year. So for example, the Duolingo, the minimum is a 95. And in IELTS, typically for bachelors, it's a 6 with nothing more than, or nothing less than a 5.5 in any of the bands. And for masters, typically it's 6.5 with nothing less than a 6 for any of the bands. And in order to secure your place, you would need to pay 50% of the fee. So again, going back to the other slide, the fee for bachelors was 13,500. So you have to pay 50% of that, which is an immigration law that's, you have to prove to immigration that you've paid 50% of the fees in order to go and get the visa. And entry requirements, I kind of went over that. So obviously I give this presentation to students from all over the world. So it's kind of the easiest way is an average of a percentage. So you would need to show 75%, whether that's in your high school or your undergrad if you're applying for a master's. Now, there are going to be programs. As I said, every program has a program page and it'll say an entry requirement at the top. So if you're looking to study in a certain area in science, there might be a requirement that, okay, you need a B in chemistry for this particular science program. Similarly with typical or some engineering programs, they might specify that you need a certain grade in engineering. But the 75% is just kind of the easiest way to explain to students when I'm talking to you online like this. So accommodation is, I always just throw this in at the end because it's one of the most popular questions we have. So we are, as I said, and I showed you the massive campus that we're building, we don't have an on-site accommodation at the moment. But what we've done is we have an accommodations office because we're the largest university in Ireland and we obviously want to help people be comfortable in where they're living and help people find accommodation. So we've block booked a number of rooms, which you can see there. So the top right is Dominic Place, which is in Dublin, and then there's Broadstone. So you can live the student accommodation lifestyle if you wanted. You can also privately rent a room in a private house where you're sharing with other students from other colleges, similar to this kind of living as well. And then we have homestays. So you could come and live with an Irish family for a couple of months. That's very popular for students who maybe are a bit younger. And then the privately rented room might be more popular with a master's student. Say if you're just a bit older and you don't want to share living space with like an 18 or 19-year-old, you know, yourself, and you want to be on the same wavelength. So there's loads of different options. And we have an accommodations office, as I was saying, and we have this website called StudentPad. And you can, if you applied and got an offer from us and you kind of wanted to take the next step and say, okay, well, I'm interested in this program, but like, what are the living options for me? You can log in or sign up to that website, StudentPad. So you don't need to be a student of ours anyway. And you can have access to a database of privately rented rooms or look at rooms like this, like I'm showing you on the screen. So yeah, just keep that in mind that you can kind of start to plan or even kind of, I don't know, visualize yourself in Dublin, because where you live is very important for students, obviously. And the cost of living is something that I have to mention as well. So Dublin is the capital of Ireland. And as I said, we have so many corporations, like multinational corporations operating out of Dublin. So that's obviously driving in loads of jobs, which hikes up the cost of living in Dublin, unfortunately. So we estimate it as 12,000 for the entire year. There is a breakdown of that on our website. So if you go to tudublin.ie/international students, you'll see all the kind of relevant details that international students need to know. And I'm going to exit and try and see. No. Could you not hear any of that?
Yes, Sarah, we have questions in the question section. So
okay. I'm just seeing people say we could. Oh, maybe that was from the video, hopefully. 1 second. Why does it say start live answer?
you see there is a button.
Yeah. Should I click on the start live answer?
You can if you want.
Or like I can just talk like this. Okay. I just whether I disconnected myself or something. Okay, so can international students get work permit while they study? Yeah, you can work 20 hours a week when you're studying and 40 hours a week when you're not at college. So your Christmas break, Easter break, summer break, any break, you can work the 40 hours a week if you get work. Absolutely. Which master program is mostly preferred by Turkish students? Like, that's a hard one to answer because you're just all so different, like any other nationality. I think I've seen a lot of students come over for business, and engineering and computer science are really, really popular from Turkish students. But please don't go on what's popular, go on what you're really passionate about, because you'll do better then. Can we create our own sports club if there isn't a sport that we want? Yes, you can. I love seeing that. Like, you can, yeah, if we don't have it, set it up yourself. Like, it costs nothing, and I think you need maybe 6 members or something. So yeah, I'd love to see some new sports clubs, like, I don't know, dodgeball or something weird. But I think there's about 120 sports and societies. So let me know if you come and you set up your own, if it was something that we didn't have. Is there a PhD program? Yes, PhDs are just something that I don't talk about from the international office because we have an entire research office. So PhDs, just to give you a quick answer to this, at TU Dublin, PhD students are kind of like staff in that a lot of the time you'll get like a small salary. So you have to know what it is that you want to research, and you write your research proposal, and then you send it into research at tudublin.ie. It's that simple. And then that office will assess it, and they'll go, okay, well, do we have a supervisor for the student? Do we have lab or office space? Like, what money do we have in the budget if we can pay this person for the research that they're going to do? So it's really, really different. They're called structured PhDs, and you're actually not just kind of left to your own devices to do research for a couple of years. You have certain classes that you have to attend, and these classes are like aimed to give you core competencies that you need for your field. So they're very interesting. I have a civil engineering degree in Turkey with 2.4 level. Can I apply computer science programs for post-graduation? And what's my approval chance? Right now I'm freelancing. Okay, so we have, computer science is so popular for us, and we have a, what's it called? It's like a computer science pre-sessional program, like a foundation. So it can be for a half a year or 3 months. So I'm going to put my email in the chat box here, and you can send me an email, or I will get your contacts from the organizers, and I'll send out an email and you can respond back to it. But yeah, so it was set up to obviously attract students who have a different background like you do, and that you want to get into computer science. So we're very interested in helping students change career. We have a lot of conversion programs, is what we call them, and they're quite unique to us. So if you were saying, oh, I have a civil engineering background, but I really want to get into managerial role, we would have a conversion program called Business and Entrepreneurship, similarly with marketing and a lot of other programs. Could you please inform me about minimum GPA requirement for a bachelor degree application? It is to get acceptance with a GPA lower than 3. Is that a GPA 3 out of 4? So typically when you're on our website, and I was saying that every program has its own program page, and the top is like a minimum entry requirement, okay? So you will see it's kind of written more for Irish students, which is kind of annoying. But when we say the minimum entry requirement is a 2-1, that is a 2-1 in for an Irish student, okay? But I will give you a breakdown. So a 2.1, when you see that, that means we need a 3 out of 4 GPA. And when you see the minimum entry is a 2.2 degree, that is a 2.5 out of 4 GPA. So if you're telling me you have a 3 out of 4 GPA, then yeah, you'd be eligible for a lot of our masters. Well done. Do you accept any TOEFL? No, we have so many. So we have like the 3 TOEFL tests, the internet-based test, the whatever the other 2 are. We have the IELTS as well. The Duolingo is 95. So that was only a new thing, and we've extended that to this year as well, obviously because of COVID. But I've heard that Duolingo is a bit easier than IELTS. Is it only accepted IELTS or will it be? Yeah, so it's the same. If you go onto our website, tudublin.ie/international students, Irish people talk very fast, if you haven't noticed. If you go onto that website, you'll see the English language that we accept. But IELTS is always the most popular, I think, for everybody. I study in high school and I want to be a computer engineer. Is there any point I need to take it? So are you asking, students come from all over the world with their high school results. There's no, I don't know, is that question that you need to take like an entrance exam or anything? You just need an average of 75% in your high school exams. Oh, scholarship. Yes, I should have talked about that. Unfortunately, we don't offer a scholarship at TU Dublin. What I will do in the chat as well, I will put in a link to the Government of Ireland scholarship. So that's a scholarship that you can apply from the Government of Ireland, obviously through different embassies. So I will put that link up, and I will put the 2 video links that I couldn't show you at the start. And it's up to you whether you watch them. Yes, we offer foundation programs. So I probably skimmed over that, I'm sorry. The foundation it can be tailored to you, to what you need for when you go on to study a bachelor's with us. So if you needed, it's not just English all the time. If you needed help improving in your maths, then we put on more maths exams for you. But it's also tailored in that you can study for a summer or a half a year, a full year, or a year and a half. So it totally depends on what the student needs. So just to give you an example, when I said that the minimum entry requirement is a 6 overall in IELTS for a bachelor's. So if you came to us with a 5.5, we would say you would study a half a year. If you came to us with a 5, we would say you need a full year of foundation. If you had 4.5, we would say, okay, you need a year and a half. So that's how we gauge it. How much is the application fee? Sorry if I missed. No problem, don't say sorry. Can we apply for more than one program with one application fee and if we need to pay? So there's no application fee, absolutely none. So apply anyway and just see how you get on. Yes, you can apply for up to 5 programs, and yeah, please do. And just to go over, I know I'm talking really, really fast and there's so much to know, but just to go over it, every program has its own program page and you can apply through the link to the right. So when you see the apply now button, click on that. It'll drop down and then you can click on the non-EU international and click your year of entry. So if you are a student and you're actually already in under a bachelor's in Turkey, and say you're in the 3rd year and you'd love to finish off a similar program in Ireland, that's what we call an advanced entrant. So from that drop-down list, you could apply for the 3rd year, and all you'd need to show is what you've studied, in your university, and our academics would assess the application. And if we have a space in our program, because as I said, our programs are kept quite small, so I guess it's a little bit competitive to get in. But if there's a space and you're a really good fit for all the other students that are going to be in third year, and yeah, you can come and finish your degree in Ireland, which is something we're seeing a bit more. How is the pandemic situation in Ireland? Education is online during this period. Yes, it has been. I mean, like a lot of countries, I think we've all been like up and down, haven't we? So we've had periods where you're like, oh, like normality is back and you're out and you're eat out in restaurants and things like that. We're in level 5, which is the highest level at the moment, and have been since Christmas with the new variant. Again, I think a lot of countries have been the same. There have been on-campus classes for the likes of, if you're studying science and you have to be in a lab to pass your subjects, those students have been on campus for like a day a week. But typically a lot of students like business and any program that can be conducted online has been, and that's just following the guidance and safety of public health and the government. How about credit transfer opportunities from university? So kind of, I saw that question come in, and that's why I was speaking about the advanced entry. So it's definitely an option for you, and something we've seen happen more and more, which is nice as well, because it means if you're studying with us for 4 years, then you're paying the tuition that I was talking about and the rent and cost of living. But if you can stay for 2 years at home in Turkey with your family, and maybe not rent and things like that, and then you could come and finish 2 years in TU Dublin and still get that lovely like international experience. My skill point must be 75%, and I have to be success from AS exam. Yeah, that's it. Emma Khan, is that your name? Your names are lovely, by the way. Julia. How is living expenses in Dublin, especially housing fees? So the last slide that I showed, I'm trying to think, I think it was like typically you'll pay maybe €500 a month for rent in Dublin. I'm really hoping with this pandemic that changes, because everyone has been allowed to work remotely, right? So all these companies, like I have friends who work for Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and they're all working from home, and a lot of people would travel and commute from the country to work up in Dublin. But now so many Irish people and other nationalities as well got to go home, and they're still employed. So that kind of frees up a lot of space in Dublin. And maybe if there's less competition and less demand, I'm really hoping that like a silver lining of all this pandemic is that you will pay less rent in Dublin. Let's see how life pans out. So the living expenses, I was saying the cost of living, again, it's on our website, the breakdown. We've kind of overestimated, I think, because I'd rather overestimate and have a student fully prepared and not lie. So we've said it's 12,000 per year. But that includes everything. It's like your mobile phone, going out and having fun, clothes, books, and you don't have to spend everything that we have listed on our website. But it's better to be honest. Bullet Selick. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. How much time it takes application, estimated process? So no more than 2 weeks. And if you don't get a response, you can email me. I'm actually going to start putting those links in the chat now, guys, before our time runs out. And I think I was up anyway. But yeah, if you don't hear back from my admissions office, you can please email me. As you can see, I can't multitask, talk and type at the same time. I've just put my email there, and I'd love to hear from you guys. And I'm going to put the link to the Government of Ireland Scholarship. And then I'm also going to put the 2 videos that I was going to show you into the chat as well. My God, I cannot do 2 things at once. Have I missed a question there? Is it hard to find a master's program for someone who is studying English language teaching in Turkey? So you're teaching English, you want to do a master's. I mean, it would all depend on, that's kind of a nice question. We definitely take into account work experience as well, guys. So we would have students, it's not just people in their early 20s that are going to do masters. We'd have people who just want a complete change in career, because that's life. And we definitely take into account work experience. So it depends how long you've been teaching English and what other background you have. But there's definitely a lot of options for you. Maybe you can email me and tell me what exactly you're thinking. To apply for a bachelor's, should we apply at the 12th degree, or can it be before that? As in your last year in high school. Just apply for the year. So the application system, our programs always start in September, okay? And the application system will open the previous November, and it'll stay open until typically like the end of June. Last year was different because the year was so higgledy-piggledy, but apply when so you'd be in your final year then, so apply then. There's no point applying and then going, oh no, I meant like next year, because it won't mean anything. The application system will only kind of assess programs or assess applications that want to come that September. Here is another video. And you know what? I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is logged on. I still have 32 people listening to me. I can't quite believe it. Yeah, I did this last month, and I just thought the students were the nicest students. Maybe this platform and this organization attracts really lovely people, but you're just all so friendly. Neil Gunn, thank you. And I hope I'm not butchering any of your names. They're all gorgeous names. Yeah, guys, that's it from me, I think. I have one more video to post in the chat, and I will be out of here if you've no more questions. Thank you so much. I think that's it.
Yes, thank you very much, Sarah, for your great presentation. And you put a real effort answering all of the questions. We had a good amount of interesting questions.
Yeah, really loads.
We believe it's a really informative webinar for the attendees.
Oh, good. Well, they're so nice. Honestly, like, it's one of the most enjoyable events that I've done. So thank you so much. It's really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Technological University Dublin ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Sara'nın paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Linkleri inceleyip YouTube'daki videoları da izlemenizi öneririz. Aynı zamanda altıdaki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you again, Sarah. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thanks a million. Can I just actually put one more? I just ask people to follow us on Instagram if they can. And I'm just going to put the last link into the little chat box here. So yeah, they're all my links that I've given now. So the videos, Instagram, and the Government of Ireland Scholarship. And thanks so much. Thanks, Zainab.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.